Oh. Oh, this is a weird way to start off. Hey, what's
Oh,
going
there
on?
you
This
are.
is
All
yeah,
right.
this is oh yeah, Savage AF.
Savage
Savage
AF.
AF. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been off and on for a little bit, but I'm trying to stay consistent this week. I just been, been doing a lot of drugs and
Hey,
yeah. So
addiction's a motherfucker, baby.
yeah, and
Enjoy the ride, man. Savage AF, you know what it is, man. Forget your feelings. Facts matter. I'm Black Pedro, this
I
guy right
am
here, this
Shang
drug addict.
Wolverine, I guess. No,
Okay.
I am not a drug addict. I do not do the drugs. I don't partake of the drugs. If anybody partakes of the drugs, we know who it is. Either the two of us.
Yeah, but I can quit anytime I want to.
Oh shit! Well, that's good.
Savage AF,
Uh,
man. You know what it is. We're here for you guys Monday through Friday,
yeah,
typically, at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, typically.
typically.
Live always whenever we do it on YouTube and Facebook. Typically, sometimes we've been banned. Yeah, we've been banned before. So what? We
Yeah,
got flagged. Who ain't been flagged? If you ain't been flagged, you ain't doing it.
we've
But
been flagged
anyways,
a lot though. We have been flagged.
uh, well,
Oh, by the way, I'm back on Twitter. Twitter actually put me back up. I lost 15,000 people,
followers.
but yeah,
Yeah,
but I still at 85K. So
welcome back, dog.
yeah,
Savage
so
AF.
I'm gonna use that to promote this, so people can come watch
What's your
this.
Twitter? What's your Twitter?
It's comedian Shang,
There
same
you go,
shit.
comedian Shang on Twitter as
Yeah,
well. All
so
right,
follow me
so
on the Twitter. But aside from
but
that,
if you ever miss us live on YouTube or Facebook, just know that our YouTube channel is there for you, you junkie.
you see it
YouTube
scrolling.
youtube.com/c/Savage World. It's all one word right there at the bottom.
It's
It's
all
scrolling
one word.
when you
It's
get there,
very easy, and
when
when
you
you
go
get
through it,
there, there's
when you see it.
basic stuff you got to do like this. You don't click that bell,
Ding,
I'm
ding.
gonna come up in your house and
Oh,
I'm gonna pull my pants down and I'm
wow.
gonna take all your food, wipe my
Okay.
butt with it, put it back in the package, put it back in the kitchen, and bon appetit, my ass.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like you're doing the food at the wrong end. If it's, but I see what you mean.
Yeah,
I know
it's a threat.
it's about the disrespect. It's
It's a
the
threat. It's a
disrespect
disrespect.
to your bologna slices, nigga.
Yeah. So
Uh, Savage AF, you know what it is. All right, so if you speaking of banishment, let's say that your YouTube days are over.
yeah,
You've been kicked off.
you
They
really
won't let you
rocking with
back in the
YouTube.
house. Yeah.
You should
So
rock with YouTube. Stop it.
no, but some people have been kicked off. Can't do it. Won't be able to watch. You know what I mean? I don't know. But either way, you can you can mess with Facebook. You can get with us there because we want them to be able to interact. So catch us on Facebook, man. It's a Savage A dot F dot. So you want a dot here and a dot there, but look us up on Facebook. That's where we is.
Yes, that's what we is. That's what
Um,
that's what that's what we is.
now
And
speaking of where we is,
we ain't there yet, but I pressed the wrong thing. But also make sure you check us out on. Well, this is a platform I feel like that's important to the survival of America, the survival of the youth,
the youth.
survival of all of us. And it starts with a N and ends with a gram. Follow at Black Pedro, Black BLACK, Pedro at
PEDRO.
Black Pedro on Instagram, and follow me at comedian Shang. And thank you for having one of my things go viral recently. All you people that are arguing over the Trump stuff, fantastic. Thank you. One clip, almost 140,000 views. Keep going. Keep talking
Well,
smack. Keep talking shit about it. I welcome it. I
there
really
you go.
do. I appreciate y'all.
That's what it is, y'all. Controversy on the interwebs. All right, man, and yeah, make sure you're on the gram. Shang is back on Twitter. You also catch him there at comedian Shang as well. That's a G on the end, just SHAN.
Yeah,
G
G. It's a
G
SHA.
by G.
Yeah. And
Uh,
the one final thing before we jump into the show and give you the rundown on the run up. If you're in the Brea area, say Brea,
Bray
California.
area.
Yeah.
Oh my
Brea, California.
God.
That was perfect. That perfect. Um, uh, we're gonna have free passes for you to come check out Savage AF live at the Brea Improv Comedy Club. At the Brea Improv Comedy Club, we'll have some more information for you towards the end of the show. Now, Pedro's gonna give you the rundown on the run up. I see a lot of people in the feed. Let's give a shout out for the feed. Give people a shout out for the feed. Is AJ Fitz in the
I
building?
say, I say, I see
Yeah.
Granda, Antoine,
Yeah.
Zamani, Breezy's, Sexy Puerto Rican. Sandy is in here. Kevin Keith
Antoine,
repping for
Antoine.
Compton.
Yeah. Ay.
Thank y'all all for being here. Nicole H is here. She's got her swords and shots going on. You know what it is, man. Savage AF. Fuck your feelings. Facts matter.
Yeah.
Black Pedro, Black Pedro, comedian Shang.
Who's Black
I,
Pedro?
I said Black Pedro. I started comedian Shang and Pedro at the same time.
So your brain just had a fart. That
Pedro.
It's fuck your
All right.
feelings. Facts matter. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Black Pedro, comedian Shang. It's Monday, March 20th, 2023 in the time space continuum. We are going to end today's show. We got to move through these, Shang, all right? We're going to end today's show with a Shangry. American justice is just not for us. Struggle. Before we get into that, your Black Pedro popping today, I'm going to talk about what's bigger than Africa. But before we get into that, let's talk about this Swiss cheese, y'all. And no, I'm not talking about the topping. I'm talking about some more bank collapse on an international scale now, or bank troubles, I should say.
Bank problems.
Problems. We'll get into it though. But before we get into that, again, it's Monday, March 20th, 2023, time space continuum. Black Pedro, comedian Shang. Fuck y'all.
And that's Cameron. That was just walking by. That's my son.
Cam made a cameo.
He made a cameo.
Man. All right, here we go, man. Before we or as we start our show today, we often ask this very, very critical question. I feel like we haven't done one of these in a little while, just sort of formally because. But that being said, let's start off today's show asking the world.
Motherfucker say what? Yeah. Motherfucker say what? Say yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wait, so y'all wanted the milk crickets to take Manhattan?
Wow, it's going down.
That seems to be the new call to arms from your boy Trumpty Dumpty, as he announced going into the weekend that he was going to be arrested.
Right, Tuesday.
Tomorrow, Shang.
Yes.
Which is tomorrow, Tuesday, he said. But now, Shang, this is getting one step closer. Now he's claiming he's going to be arrested in a situation where, at best, he would be indicted and asked to turn himself in. But it's not like they're rappelling from some roof at Mar-a-Lago.
Right.
You're gonna crash through his bedroom window with tear gas.
The fact that he called and in he said he's going to be arrested. There was a call to arms.
And then he said protest.
Yeah,
period.
Protest. Get our country back. That same old
Take
dog whistle that he gives to these backward trailer park goofy fucking snow heathens that buy every word that he says and believe everything that he does. So that to me is threatening. It's threatening
So right now you have security upgrades and kind of preparations going on in Manhattan, especially around the federal courthouse, because this is where
because they're coming.
So Trump is claiming that indictments are coming at him out of the New York office, right, and that he's gonna that he's going to be arrested tomorrow. And for me, the most ominous part about his comments around this was that he just said protest, take your country back. So while the case is coming out of New York, it's like it wasn't even like January 6th. Like January 6th was like, come to DC on this day and take it, and it's gonna be wild, right? But it was like the specific day, specific time. This one is like this day, right? He picked a day, tomorrow, Tuesday, but he just kind of says protest. And I'm like, everywhere, this one place, do they know where? What are they talking about? You know what I mean? So,
but the other thing is, this is the other thing people
ain't
don't
no
realize.
arrest also ain't no arrest gonna happen.
Yeah, but check this out. No, I don't know if he's getting arrested. He's T. You're wrong. T. I see T. Talk. If he's arrested, I want my money, Shang. He hasn't been arrested. It's not going to happen. You're not.
And I will say that I do believe Shang amended it. T. He made an amendment to Trump actually serving jail time, like going to jail.
Because Pedro and I can get arrested, but if we don't, nothing happens. This white girl just ran from a cop, smacked a cop, wrestled a cop, and he let her go with a warning. Okay, but she was under arrest. Nothing happened to her. Nothing's going to happen to Trump. He's not going to jail.
Well,
think about this. Time Magazine said this in a year that he was going to be in jail. This was when he was talking about they called him the groper in chief. All right, and it didn't happen.
Wait, hold up. In the corner, it looks like December something 2018.
Yeah,
I'm trying to read. I was trying to read the fine print in the corner.
He never went to jail. So all you people, you say I owe you money? Not yet. Not yet. Until I see him in handcuffs and in jail and serving time, because he deserves to serve time. I don't understand.
Evelyn Gatlin, I see you. Bethany Williams.
He should be. His new bunkmate should be like, "Hey, Donald Trump, I can't wait to stick my finger in your bunghole." That's what should happen.
Yeah. Well, also, this is it's a weird move on my part, as far as I can read it. Too, and I was talking with my mother about this. I was talking with my mother about this. Like, so first of all, there's like no arrest thing, right? Like I said, there's no cops that are gonna show up at his door, even if they're bringing an indictment. You know, they're gonna contact lawyers and have him turn himself in and go from there, right? But so now he's gone out in public and said he's gonna be arrested on Tuesday. So if that doesn't happen, right, then what does that mean for his followers when he says something yet again that doesn't come true, right? Like, how do they begin to read that? Do they see that at all as more hypocrisy from him?
Not at all.
Or like, because I don't see the advantage to that for him. Like, for him to say that he's going to be quote unquote arrested, and then not get arrested, and then look like, you know, some kind of sensationalist fool. Okay. Which leads me to believe that he actually believes that he will be indicted on tomorrow or whatever, on Tuesday.
Okay,
so
but he called for.
I think that might actually happen.
He basically called for his people to
climb the walls.
Climb the walls again.
But I don't even know which place. Like in New York, in Mar-a-Lago, all over the place.
All over the place. All over the place. And I think that just like they
Nicole won her money already too.
Nicole, you ain't getting no money yet until something happens. And this is all, you know, foreshadowing bullshit. Until it happens, it's all fuckery. And the bottom line is, if they do that after he said this, what else does the fucking DOJ need to see to ramrod this dude under the jail? Plus, they better pull some guns this time and pop these motherfuckers as they're climbing the walls. Period.
Well, like I said, they've got, you know, more cameras and should therefore be aware of the possibility of a mob threat. But it seems like there's a lesson has been learned, and some
But he's asking basically
preparations and fortification is being.
He's asking these white followers, because they're the ones that are more adamant, to storm the Capitol again, basically, and not.
It's
flat out. And this is the wild part. I'm sick of the bitch ass news with their bitch ass antics. to not just say this motherfucker's out of control and go hard in the paint on him. It's always this alleged. He allegedly said, no, he fucking sent it out on Truth Social. He sent it out, and that is what a call to arms.
Well,
What else do you need to see?
I know. Okay, so what I'm gonna say to that is that until convictions occur and things like that, responsible news sources have an obligation to speak in an accurate way about what's going on, right? So they're not there to convict and things like that, which is how you end up seeing a Fox News in a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit against Dominion because they were flying off the handle just saying not even real opinion shit, but just populist conspiracy shit.
No.
No. I mean, listen. Trump hasn't been convicted of it, so the news can't say he did this, he did that. A responsible news source, they present and the opinion people paint it that way, and they bring in the other people to say, well, yeah, it sure does look like this and this and that. But their role isn't to be like, that's our role. That's why you come into Savage AF. We take the facts and come to conclusions way before the court system does.
Okay,
but we're still doing it based on that.
If he's saying protest about that dog whistle with the country, it's basically just like woke is pretty much black. Just like get your country back is pretty much telling white people to wild the fuck out.
I think we're also overlooking, this is something that stands out to me, is the role of these, because this announcement to, this basically, what do you want to call it? 321 is what it's going to be tomorrow, right? Like March 21st. So, he's calling for this other attack, in his coded way that he does with his audience. And, this is on the heels of him being re-platformed on Twitter, on I believe YouTube and Facebook as well, right? So like,
he's on everything.
So he's back on, and then immediately it's like, release the hounds, and it's like, yo, that's why you took him off. You took him off for this. You see what will happen when he does this, and the second he gets back on, he does this again. So I honestly would like to also, in addition to, get another spotlight and shine it on. And we're on these platforms too, but these shithead platforms that keep allowing a dick mouth donkey biscuit like this to speak. Like, he had his own platform, let him have that. It's America, build your own platform. If you want to talk that yum garbage, man.
But I don't think he put it on Twitter. I think he put it on Truth Social. It was on Truth Social. It hasn't been on Twitter, hasn't been on Facebook. But the bottom line is he knew that the other ones would pick it up and retweet it, and repost it, and everything else. So,
but that's my point. It's like, he's been re-platformed on there, right? So no matter what he's done on their platforms, once you see that he is doing the exact same behavior as pre-January 6th, I don't know how they can uphold re-platforming him and maintaining it. Like, they should all pull him back down for making these comments of go protest.
Do you agree with Nicole H. right here? Read that.
Let him speak. He can only dig himself into a deeper hole. You know what?
1,000%.
I agree. I agree that the more he speaks, especially about legal stuff, and like he has the ability to dig himself into a legal hole. But he also has this ability to stir up orcs from primordial ooze pools, and they come up in there, those, and then they go and attack and hurt stuff. And people.
I mean, no, but the reason, Nicole, I disagree with you is because, and I was going to speak on this later. White people, not all white people, the white people in the position of power that actually believe in all this fuckery, will continue to let Donald Trump slide through and get away with murder, get away with, basically soliciting a riot, which I think he absolutely did. And they're going to let him get away with it. And so it doesn't matter how much he says, the wildest shit he says. He doesn't want to admit he's a loser, because he is a loser. He's a frightening, narcissistic ass loser. He's a little bitch of a man. Everybody knows he's a bitch of a man. He got Like even when he was younger, you could run up on him and be like, "Man, shut up! Give me your lunch money," and he would give it because he ain't gonna fight for it because he's a bitch. So his followers are they're made in the same fucking brand of his bitchdom. Is that a word? Is bitchdom a word?
I think if you say something and people know what you mean, it was a word.
It's a word. Okay, his bitchdom. So no, Nicole H. I hate to break it to you. He could, after he said I could shoot somebody in the middle of Times Square and I wouldn't lose one vote. He's right.
Well, unless that person he shot was one of his supporters, then he would have
And
technically lost one vote. He didn't think about
yeah,
that. Lost one vote.
yeah. So I mean, and I think he's right. And I think that the country is showing its ass and is showing its double standard. Period. Because
Yeah.
anybody else would have been it'd have been a wrap. But New York is going hard in the paint. I personally think Georgia should have been hard in the paint with audio evidence. But you know what? You know what? It's just like what did Will Smith say in that movie? Yeah, white people that thing up, and that's what they do. They white people that thing up.
Yeah, Nicole, he needed that vote too, especially in Georgia.
Yeah. So yeah.
Georgia. But okay, so as we move on though, just recognize that this is one of the many cases that seems to be closing in. Oh, by the way, we didn't even mention this is all around hooker hush money. this alleged indictment, arrest, or whatever that as Trump wants to paint it, is all around hooker hush money.
him having a minute and 12-second encounter with the Stormy.
Yeah,
that's basically what it was.
And tomorrow, stick with us. We'll talk about
if it goes down for everybody in there, and he actually gets indicted, or no, gets arrested. I will.
No.
All right.
Oh, go ahead. No. I was just gonna say we know he's not gonna get arrested. Arrested is a dog whistle word he used to drum up his orcs, right? Like in a situation like this, like I said, there are not going to be any cops storming his doors, pulling him out in handcuffs. Like that was never going to happen anyways. If anything happens tomorrow, he'll get indicted, which is a piece of paper or a phone call to a lawyer or an email. I don't know how they do the indictments nowadays, but either way, it'll just be a process of, hey, we need you to come in and you agree. Now, if you don't agree to that, it could escalate. But
then he should get his ass.
But he's just trying to make his people think that they're attacking their values and their leader.
None of this shit's gonna happen. I'm going back to it. In fact, how about y'all owe me $1,000 each if this motherfucker gets, if you see him in handcuffs and doing a perp walk into the fucking precinct. If that happens, I'll give y'all $1,000 each tomorrow. And everybody in this feed, that's 14 grand. I will give 14 grand to everybody in this feed if they actually handcuff this motherfucker and perp walk his ass in there. 14 grand. But if it doesn't happen, I need checks from all you bitches.
Wow.
Okay,
that was double or nothing to all y'all.
Just double or nothing.
Yeah, all right, man. That's all good. Well,
how about that?
Speaking of double or nothing, that takes us right into banking. Because these banks seem to be doubling up on nothing real quick. Got me wondering where that Swiss cheese at. UBS, which I think is like United or Universal Bank to Swiss. It's a large Swiss bank, is buying another Swiss bank because their shit was falling apart. That's Credit Suisse. Nicole doesn't seem to believe you, Shang. What? She thinks you're a banker. She says you sound like a banker right now. Your money's there. No, your money's fine. But that, in addition to what's it, First Republic Bank, they're also.
AJ Fit, my money.
We can't use Shang bucks out here, man.
Oh, that's messed up. Man. AJ Fit, that's messed up, man. My money good as anybody else's, right?
And technically, I don't even think they've received any Shang bucks either. Shang Bucks aren't even good on this show yet, but one
Yes.
day we're working
Now,
on that.
no. You say that okay. It started with First Republic Bank, but it was a lot of incompetence that went
Well,
on
no,
in
okay. So all of this started with Silicon Valley Bank
Silicon Bank, and then it
and Signature Bank, kind of at the same time. But Silicon Valley was kind of the bigger story and the bigger bank. They had like $209 billion in assets, which made it like the second largest, sort of
By the way,
collapse.
it was black people's fault. It was black people and diversity's fault. That's what the GOP is saying.
And women.
So
Women. This in this case
it
because
was women's
they
fault,
blamed it on diversity, but there's like one black dude on the
right?
SVB
It was
board,
their fault. Everybody knows it's their fault.
and a
Everybody
good
knows.
number of women and other people of color. But
And ladies,
uh,
it's all your fault,
hey, ladies.
according to the
Uh,
GOP, and you still vote for these motherfuckers. So all you women
so
that vote for the GOP,
Right. So then after SVB and Signature Banks came First Republic Bank with their troubles, right?
yeah,
So then there was money used by the banking system itself to attempt to shore them up. But their stock has still fallen. They're down 47% as of today. I heard earlier, First Republic, that is. So they're still struggling. But all this time, or up until this point, the general consensus was that this wasn't going to be a huge, widespread, sort of systemic, problem.
it ain't gonna be my
Uh,
bank. It ain't gonna be your bank. It ain't gonna be my bank
Well,
or your bank.
and they keep saying that the larger the JP, the Chase,
The Chase,
Citibank, Wells
Citibank,
Fargo, Bank
Bank
of
of America,
America,
those are the
they're going to be
monsters.
fine.
They're gonna be fine.
But this does seem to have jumped the pond, and now we're looking at Swiss Bank or Swiss banks
Okay.
having problem like
Well,
Credit
Swiss
Suisse.
banks, but they talk funny, so they deserve it. Boinka, doinka,
Man,
boinka, doinka, doinka. So all
well,
you Swiss banks,
you
and plus,
could
who
stay.
really eats Swiss cheese? Let me think about it. Nobody likes
I
Swiss
think they
cheese.
actually just speak French.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, other than croissants, what's really good about French? What's good?
Or
What's good
Swiss.
about French people? Nothing. Okay.
You mean
French
Swiss?
dressing?
You mean Swiss?
No, you said
Swiss.
they speak French.
Yeah, but they're not. That doesn't make them French. But
Okay,
they
but
have a
look,
slightly different
Switzerland
cultural.
ain't nothing good
I
about
mean,
Switzerland.
they can make good army knives and
Okay,
luggage
well that yeah,
accessories
okay. Well, that's true because I have had one, and you could cut the shit out of.
and some
You
good
could cut
cheese,
some wood, and you could survive in the woods with it. But
some good cheese coming
okay,
out of
so the
there.
Swiss, other than their cocoa, they ain't they ain't shit.
Their
The
chocolate
Swiss don't
is
have a
still
lot of
good.
black people, so fuck them. If the Swiss banks collapse, it's because partly because of incompetence. Because you got to give some credence to the accountability of incompetence, and I
Yeah,
think a lot of that is what's going on. And the trickle effect is because these are all the incompetent smaller banks that are fucking up.
yeah.
I
And I think
I ain't gonna lose my money, and plus, if it's under $250,000, they still got to give it to you.
and in the case of SVB and Signature and First Republic, like these programs are going to reimburse or shore up all depositors.
Deposit, but if they
Yeah,
don't give the
so
money back, if they
no
don't give
matter
the money back,
even above 250,000.
all I'm saying, if they don't give me my money back, you know what it
Hey, watch
is.
out now. And I think when you were talking about the kind of mismanagement, I know that when I first brought up the SVB story here, that I may have explained what happened there a little bit wrong, but got a clearer understanding. Is what they did at SVB is they put a lot of money into treasury bonds, but
Yeah,
then when the Federal Reserve upped the interest rates and these interest rate hikes, it got them underwater on the bonds, right? So the bond values dropped and they lost money. And so then as they began to sell off those bonds at a loss, it sparked, panic
but
and
okay,
people started to pull their money out, and that's when they were really fucked.
but
So
if you go to pull your money out and they ain't got your money, I feel it's justified that we just have to go take it.
now, Shane,
Okay,
do you think this commentary here is justified from Nicole H?
what?
She's agreeing with AJ Fit. Shang is like SVB. Bro, they saying your shit ain't FDIC insured.
Okay, first off, my money is good. Secondly, okay,
I don't know,
okay,
bro.
there's a very good chance that if I did write y'all all checks, that they would bounce. Yes, I admit that freely. But it's the promise that I give you with a smile is what should make you feel better.
Nicole H says, we ain't have no money over there anyways, talking about the Swiss bank situation. But remember, Nicole, that all these banks are connected globally at this point. You know what I mean?
You want to
Banks
transfer money from one bank to the other bank. Trust they know each other.
and you know, banks have investments and hold properties internationally, you know, between nations and things like that. So all of the, you know, all of these markets are interconnected in these
So yeah,
sometimes very intricate ways. But yeah, so it does have something to do with us in a sense that,
right.
you know, like the what was it, the '08 crash, like that shit was fucking with British banks and everything because they hadn't done
Well, you know what?
conversions to
For British
pounds
people,
properly and shit like
you know
that.
why they
It was
fuck with the
crazy.
British people? That was their fault. And half of them don't got a lot of teeth. Their teeth, their dental hygiene is horrible. A lot of people in London, you
Sorry.
look at their teeth, all of them look like picket fences. That I mean, every other plank is broken out. Their food is bad. They drive on the wrong side of the road. And most of their women, 99% of their women in England are ugly. Every single one of
Oh,
them.
that's tough
And
thing to
so,
say.
so their bank getting torched, I didn't feel really bad about
Well, there goes our international crowd. So
it.
much for that.
I'm just saying, like, no,
Top of the morning too, yeah.
there's certain cities that have really ugly women, and London, all of the women, very like they all of them will walk up to you with like one of their shoulders is slouched, and then they all have
Now,
a
now,
hello, Pedro, can I touch your penis?
now, I think you're talking about just strictly, and I'm not agreeing with you. I'm just trying to clarify because London, from what I understand, I haven't been. I
I
believe
have
is an
no,
international city though. Like there
nah,
are
yeah, all right,
African
London.
women there and
There's
Indian,
beautiful
right?
women there, but
No,
I'm
no,
talking
but
about
you
the
mean
women that are actually native of England. All of them, hideous.
yeah? I thought that's what you
And you
meant.
know what else? You know where else is ugly? A lot of ugly women? Iowa. Oh my God. When I was in Iowa, I mean, every single one of them, all you heard was like from the knuckles dragging around from these horrible hag hoes. Not one of them. I wouldn't fuck them on a bet. If there was one last woman from Iowa on an island, I wouldn't fuck her. I would jack off and then throw it at her. That's how much I wouldn't give them no
Wow.
love. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure why you have to jack it off first. You could have just thrown it in there.
Well, I just think it's more disrespectful.
Okay. All right. There you
No, I'm okay. Listen, Iowa. I didn't mean just Iowa. I'm sorry. I don't want to just blanket Iowa. Let's go to Montana. The women all up there,
go. That's
all the
there's only
women up there look
seven
like
people.
John Goodman. All of them got thick necks. They
All right.
all look like they used to wrestle in the lower divisions. All of them. They all look like man dudes, and they got big Adam's apples.
Welcome to Savage AF, where we're only available in 13 out of 50 states.
Now
And
it's not
Shane
my
goes through
fault.
his list of places where not welcome anymore.
They know they
Nicole
ugly.
A's like, what about Idaho? They got good potatoes. Come on.
Wow. Okay, Idaho got good
We
potatoes.
like French fries.
But I mean, so back to the banks. I do think that it's going to definitely hit the smaller banks heavy, 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 heavy. And I think it'll continue to do that to a point, especially the banks that didn't shore up and really handle their business.
Well,
I don't see the big banks taking that kind of hit. I just don't see it.
oh no. Well, they're not. Then yeah, this isn't a case of that. But I mean, it's still, yeah. It doesn't seem to be bleeding off into some systemic thing yet.
Right.
But we are seeing some wavering going on, especially with like First Republic Bank right
Right.
now. But
And by the way,
a
that's
thing to
First
keep your
Republic.
eye on.
Somebody setting the bank on fire. I don't know if you thought that was steam.
Yeah.
That's actually somebody burning the bank down.
Okay.
You know,
There you go.
I didn't know if y'all know that. And I didn't mean to say all women in Montana are ugly. I meant 98% of the women in Montana are ugly.
All right.
Okay. I'm just
But
letting y'all know.
I have not been to Montana, so can't
You
really
can't really
know.
say that. But if the banks don't get up off our money, who's with me? Let's get that
Hey,
bread.
get it. I do have one. I know one chick from Montana, and she's actually sexy, man.
Really?
So yeah. But
Well, that's the one. I told you 99,
that's
98.
the.
And
and
then
she, but she lives here. She
yeah,
lives
she
here.
lives
So
here.
in
So she
Montana right now,
right now, none. And everybody that she
maybe there's a bunch of bad chicks
right
from
from
Montana,
Montana
and
that
they
left.
ran the fuck up out of there.
But
Okay.
put it this
That
way:
now
when she
that
was
I
in
can.
Montana, everybody wanted to fuck her. Women, men, dogs, fish, birds. Every time she walked outside, it was a bird with a hard dick sitting up in a tree, just waiting for her.
Wow.
Tweet, tweet, bitch. Tweet, tweet. Come on, get some of this bird dick. I'm
Watch out
telling you.
now.
I made that up. There's no birds with hard dicks, Jason. Sorry.
I
That
hope
wasn't
not.
true.
I don't want to find out. Savage AF, man, fuck your feelings. Facts matter. We're gonna keep this one pushing. Black Pedro, comedian Shang. All right, man. And as we do, we're gonna keep it moving. A little something like
Hey,
right.
hey, hey, it's your boy Black Pedro, popping in, hey, 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 with another poppin' to let you know what's poppin'.
Hey, it's your boy Black Pedro with another popping to let you know what's popping. Ha! All right, man. So I know it's a lot of bullshit going on in the world, a lot of negativity. But I found a bit of light this weekend. Um, had a little time as a couch potato. Sometimes you just storing up that energy. Gloomy. It's gloomy in LA right now, rainy.
It's
You
been
know,
gloomy. What are you talking about?
you don't always want to be in them
I got
streets.
back from Vegas and was like, fuck, I want to leave again.
Yeah, there you go. But whatever, we need the rain. Yada yada yada. Not the point. Here's what it is though. Ended up finding something on Netflix called Bigger Than Africa. And I
Dun,
just
dun.
kind of
Wait, 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 wait,
and
wait.
maybe I got a bit dramatic on that presentation there, but Bigger Than Africa, a documentary that I found on Netflix. And now I sound European, like I discovered a documentary on Netflix. I mean, it's just on
As
Netflix.
I was pillaging other countries,
I've discovered a new
I
documentary.
noticed Netflix had something on the dark
So
continent,
no
aka
one
Niggerville.
no one seems to have ever discovered this documentary before, but
Until they will.
I have found it. No, but I'm a person. I came across
You came
a
across,
a
yeah,
documentary on Netflix called Bigger Than Africa. And as a bit of positive light, the story of this documentary is the story of the Yoruba religion and culture out of West Africa, and I believe originating with the Oyo people, if I'm getting this right.
yeah,
But just the term and the general kind of idea of this African religion, this ancient African religion called Yoruba,
yeah.
was something that I was just aware of on just on a very superficial surface level. Just that it was a religion from West Africa from back in the day. But two things I didn't realize is that it's not just a religion, but it is a greater culture and people as well, a diaspora, if you will. And that it is, I believe it said the only or religion and culture out of Africa that survived in the West, that survived intact, sort of
Right.
completely in the Caribbean and in the States and in South America. So it focused on the culture and the practice in, like, there's a whole village and community in South Carolina called Yoruba Land.
Yeah.
And that I was not aware
You
of.
didn't know about that?
No, nigga, no, I ain't no Yoruba ass nigga. No, no. I just, you the one with the kufis and the ankhs and the
Okay, well, yeah, there was actually
Shang holds revolutionary meetings on Tuesdays in his laundry room of his building, man. And y'all,
y'all ready for
white
you
people
ready?
can't do laundry on Tuesdays, so they be pissed off, bro. But no,
Fuck
but me,
your dirty clothes.
and what's funny about it is, they looked at South Carolina. They talked about the Yoruban origins and sort of traditions in Cuba. And then they even talked about not just Brazil, but where my family is from, Trinidad as well. Apparently,
Right.
there's a whole large Yoruba population there. And these were people. These weren't even enslaved Africans. These were people who just kind of ended up in Trinidad after the end, after Britain ended the transatlantic slave trade,
Right.
and they were kind of freed, or and not, or hadn't been enslaved
Well,
yet, and just
Pedro,
kind of
Pedro, the
floated on
fact
to
that you didn't
Trinidad.
know, I will forgive you. It's like, no,
Well,
I'm
no, I
telling
mean,
you.
I think no, but I think this
No,
talk
I know
like
about
this,
it.
so this is one of those things though where it's like this is why it's so important for African and African American histories and cultures and religions and art and music to be taught, because even an educated person like myself, I hadn't come across any in-depth study into the
And to
Yoruba,
well,
and also had understanding it to be a religion, strictly, had no desire as an atheist, no
don't worry about it.
drive to
Well, the
go
reason I knew about it,
investigate.
in Los Angeles in Southern California, there's 4 churches that are dedicated to this, and
Yeah, yeah,
it's on. They're on Saturdays. And by the way, now we talk about the ugly women in Iowa. At these this religion has some of the baddest chicks. Like I went past one. The reason I knew about it, I went past one just so I could pick up on one of them coming outside afterwards. Like, hey, did you pray? Okay, Allah. Okay, cool. So where you going later? I mean, like, no, I knew about it because honestly, because one of the meetings in the laundry room,
Hmm.
somebody, like somebody told me about it, and and then because we had two big brothers blocking the door, so no white people could do their laundry. Like, not for you today, man. Go back upstairs. But no, I knew about it about maybe 15 years ago. About 15 years ago, and I didn't see the documentary, but there has been other documentaries that show how many people of color have have embraced this religion. And
Yeah,
there's a lot,
and,
there's a lot.
and it's from drums and music and chants and call and response sort of things that
Right.
you see how it is the groundwork for a lot of just uh, other black traditions in other parts of the world. But like again, a really remarkable thing is that it is like the only surviving culture religion intact outside of Africa, and all of these African cultures, they still exist and are intact in Africa, right? But part of the slave, part of the slavery or the indoctrination of slavery was to break up those cultural bonds
Well,
and
that's
ties
what's
and
happening with
traditions.
Florida
So
now. If you look at Ron DeSantis, and if you look at Florida, they're trying to go hard in the paint, and now Texas is following suit. So they're trying to erase anything that is culturally pertaining to people of color or POC. So I mean,
yeah,
and Carolina Boss said no CRT. You know what? Settle down.
no, I
Um,
mean
I know.
that's what this would be. You
Yeah,
start teaching that
but this
African
religion is
jangle angle.
pertaining to his is actually his. If you look at now in the Caribbean, it has been it's about maybe 15%, right? In the Caribbean, if you look at Jamaica, if you look at Nassau, Bahamas, Bahamians,
But
but
it's going
yeah,
from Cuba
in
all the
Cuba,
way down to
right?
Trinidad.
And Trinidad, but Trinidad, it was just people who in Trinidad, to my knowledge, it was people who embraced the religion, and it just kind of it kind of got handed
No,
down.
no. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying earlier. It was actually they were actually Africans who were kind of hadn't been enslaved yet, but kind of caught in between the ending of the trade itself. Like when there was a point where Britain was like, all right, no more shipping Africans back and forth. So these people just kind of ended up, in Trinidad,
Right.
floating
And
but they were African. They were
they were
Yoruban
Africans, but now
or
Trinidadians.
Oyo.
Yeah, or
But they're
Trinidadians.
not embracing the culture. They're the ones who brought it.
They
That's what I'm saying.
brought the culture, and the culture was embraced from the Africans.
The day you're talking about are the Africans, dog.
Okay,
African.
but not
I'm talking about.
but
I'm talking about Africans came to.
but Trinidadians embraced what the Africans brought.
Well, I mean, Trinidadian is just a national thing. Like,
I know. I'm just trying to use
who are
a
Trinidad? I mean,
generalization. People in
it's
Trinidad.
it's a melting pot of people. There's a lot of different cultures there. So the Oyo, the Yoruban culture came from this group of Africans and has survived and thrived there, as a result of that. It's
Okay.
not just like assimilation. It's
And
like
by the way, I'm going to say
a
this:
migration of it.
Trinidadian women are fine as hell, and they got that nice bottom.
That's because everybody mixes up a whole
Right.
lot.
And now, like there's one up before we go on. There's one other place that has a plethora of poot face women, really, really just hideous women. I'm just like, ooh, like tough on your face women. I'm gonna say Dakota. The women in Dakota look like they've been plowing the fields with their
Like both
face.
of them,
Yeah, south and north.
north and south.
Yeah, north and south. They both like the women in Dakota look like they hands look like they never experienced lotion. They're just all these chapped, pasty hands, like they've been lifting without gloves for a long time, and the calluses have just taken over their own hands. And their face looks like, I mean, it's just horrendous. So if you're a woman from North Dakota, South Dakota, I couldn't tell you from the next person because you really. Yeah, you look like a dude that lost way too many rounds in a boxing tournament.
Welcome to Savage AF, where we're available in 11 out of 50 states in America.
Wow.
By Dakotas.
And by the way, Trinidad has good water, and that's why the women look like that. Okay, that might be it. Okay.
Also, nobody wears condoms down there.
That's true.
The races just mix up.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Keith said. All right, man. So Shane, get us up out of here. That's your Black Paper pop in today. Check out Bigger Than Africa.
Yeah, check it out on Netflix.
Netflix.
And by the way, the next meeting in the laundry room is going to be next Tuesday. I got a gig. No, it'll be this Tuesday. So all the people that live where I live at, I see y'all there. Make sure you have you know what? This is the new code word. Crack a smash. Just want to put that out
Nobody
there.
will ever know what's going on.
Savage AF, we're here for you 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Weekdays now, what you need to do is make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe to the channel, your feet won't stink. And if you're religious, Jesus will love you. So make sure you subscribe. And once you subscribe to the channel, make sure you do this. To the channel, give us some of these. And I forgot to say this in the beginning, but these are very good to the algorithm. And it makes our algorithm just have so much rhythm. Thumbs up. Make sure you follow at Black Pedro. Pop, 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 pop. And make sure you follow at Comedian Shang on the IG. Now, my Shangry for today is how I'm feeling about the double standard of what's happening, which we'll talk about tomorrow. It didn't happen. Listen, I am. If this, as I said, and in fact, I'm amping the money up. I give y'all $1,500 each if you see this motherfucker Trump in a cell. $1,500. Stop making the face, Pedro. $1,500 each if you see him in the cell. You're not going to see that happen. It's just not going to happen. And what's making me mad about this, anybody else that ever did this would be in jail. This would be a reality. It's not going to be a reality. It's not going to be a reality. The double standard, the justice system just is not for us. Because if that was anybody black, this is the image you would see on TV, period, the end. This is the image you would see constantly. You would not see this man dancing at a fucking Mar-a-Lago party. And yet he's still free. So everybody knows, and I'm sick of them saying, well, the justice system has come a long way. Fuck you and feed you rocks and take you swimming. It's not true, bitches. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to your fucking God if you believe in God. I'm telling you right now, if that was Obama, in fact, I got some footage. If I went to the future, then I got a time machine and went back to the past. And if Obama did that, this is the image of Obama going to jail. I don't know if y'all seen this. This is the image of Obama. By the way, that's some very good Photoshop. Thank you very much. All right, y'all. I just I want to put that out there, give them skills to myself. But right now, everybody knows that the double standard of Trump is in full effect. And that's because white people, even though Pedro don't like me to fucking blanket it, the majority of people in position of power that happen to be white, or as you call them, milk crickets, or snow heathens, or whatever they are.
Ice monkeys.
Ice monkeys. They should be in jail, but they won't. I'll give you an example. I just saw a video. Woman literally smacked a cop, wrestled a cop, ran off. She said she was sorry, and he let her go with a warning. After she had started some shit in a club. It's a double standard. Everybody knows it. And I'm sick of us acting like, well, let's just make it. While white people get away with doing all kind of heinous shit. We just talked about the banks, and they're wiping their tears with money. Everybody knows for a fact, the bottom line is, with this Trump situation, in fact, you know what, before we go, because we're going to get up out of here, I'm gonna amp it up to $2,000.
Oh,
$2,000, if you see...
Why you say it like a coke dealer? You know what? I'm gonna do it like $2,000. Fuck it, we're gonna amp it up to $2,000.
You know what? If y'all see Trump in jail tomorrow behind bars, $2,000 for everybody in the feed and everybody that watches this. You know what? But it's not gonna happen because we know the double standard. If that was Obama, it'd be a wrap. If that was Pedro, which by the way, this is an actual footage of Pedro's wrist. The last time he got in trouble.
Yeah, jail is rough on your wrist. Man.
Jail's rough. So what I'm saying is, justice. Hey, it's just not for us. It's for the elite, and it's for the Caucasoids from the Caucasoid Mountains to get away with murder. And the only way we can equalize this is we got to start financially hitting them in the pockets. And if we start doing that, maybe they'll start paying attention to our empathy and our humanity and us as just human beings. Because until then, if we don't hit them in the pockets, if we don't boycott and spend money in black businesses and do like that, and so it puts a dent in their fucking bottom line, nothing will happen. And the meeting, laundry room. Make sure y'all there. Bam. Boom.
Bring dryer sheets.
Yes.
We'll be back tomorrow, y'all, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until then, make sure you stay black if you are. Do not be black if you aren't. Keep your fingers, all of them, out of your nose.
And while you're at it, if you do stick your finger in your nose, come down to Brea. We'll be doing a show. The Comedy Hit Squad will be the Sunday, April 2nd. And it's free tickets. All you got to do is hit me or Pedro in our DM on Instagram, and you will get free tickets to come to the show. Brea, California, at the Improv in Brea, California, April 2nd, 7 p.m. show. Cody Woods, Jason Rogers, myself, and Black Pedro. We will see you there.
All right, y'all. Deuces.
All right. Deuces.